Hey, Dave. You know what we should do?
Go to Taco Bell?
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
We'll be right back.
No, sit down. We actually have to do something.
I
Sorry.
want Taco Bell.
There's candy in the back. Just wait, okay?
That's not a Crunch Wrap.
Oh, good point. We got to review. It's okay. We will review video games, then go get a Baja Blast.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
So today we have Alien Isolation.
10 years later.
No one cares about time. Time doesn't exist.
It makes me feel old, Howard.
Calm down, geezer. Let's talk about Alien Isolation.
Okay. It's a game. And that's the end of the review. Now can we go to Taco Bell?
Yeah, so, no. So, what? So, you beat this thing for the first time this year, correct?
Yeah, I definitely finished it. 100%.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this came out in 2014. Sega produced it after Aliens Colonial Marines, and that fiasco.
We should have reviewed that.
Oh, we should have.
We should have
That would
reviewed
mean
that.
we'd have to play it.
Oh, good point.
So,
Good point. I didn't think about that.
and so this is an actual full horror game, and this game is beloved. It is absolutely beloved. I remember when IGN gave it a 6, and everyone freaked out. People still say it's borderline a 10 out of 10 game.
And we're going to find that out for sure today.
Because we have some thoughts, ideas worthy of conversation that if I see another mean comment, I'm going to find your IP address. Essentially, it was, what was it? It was you play Ripley's daughter,
Yes,
Amanda.
so this was a direct sequel to the original film. And you play as Ripley's daughter, Amanda, and she's looking for Ripley because she's currently in the timeline of Alien, the canon. Ripley's still in the cryo sleep from at the end of the first film.
Yeah.
And no one knows what's going on. From what I can tell from the lore of the game, the company's just like, yeah, that ship, the Nostromo, I don't know what happened to it. It just disappeared one day.
They hit us with the big fat, oops, and that's it. That was it.
Yeah.
They wrote that on the corporate memo. They had the nice thing, and it's just like the, oops, oopsie daisy.
Yeah. So they find some company finds the flight recorder from the Nostromo.
Yeah.
And so Samuels, our robot friend, comes to him and is like, "Hey, I know you're still looking for your mom. You and me will go figure this out, and maybe we'll find her." And then they get to the space station Sevastopol, which is where the game takes place for the most part, and things start to go awry, as they tend to do in the Alien franchise.
Yeah, you know, hilarity ensues.
An alien shows up. Spoiler alert.
Although, as spoiler alert, you're not really isolated. There's a lot of people also on the ship.
You know, now that you mention that, I don't know what's that title there for.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's because you're typically alone in the gameplay. Because in the movies, like they're usually like with other people.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because you're only by yourself.
Just one dude. And of course, this game was actually pretty different than most Alien games because instead of it being a first-person shooter like the AVP games, the Alien Trilogy, Aliens Colonial Marines, this focused way more on stealth and the horror aspect of an Alien. So on paper, this is like our crack.
Yes.
This is the bread and butter to our American diabetes sandwich. So we both played the game. You played it, I think, near launch.
I did.
I played it attempted to play it shortly after. And I don't think on our first playthroughs we actually finished it.
No, we stopped having fun very quickly, so we didn't play any more of it.
But now you have to ask, because this is a review. It's less of like a review, more like a retrospective kind of review.
It is, yeah.
So it's more like a question of like, why did we both not have fun? So I did beat the game over the pandemic because I was like, because I had like all this list of these list of games, and I'm like, I want to just beat it, uninstall it, be done. So I played it over the pandemic, and I think I realized what it was. And it's that it's really long, and the gameplay loop the alien is so aggressive that you have to take everything so slow and boring because saving is clunky. Good. You don't want to die from the alien. Good. He is an insta-kill. All right. He hides in vents that you can barely see, especially when a lot of things happen, like explosions or fires or any other obstacle. All right. Oh, and the AI always knows where you are no matter what, so even if you don't do anything to trigger the alien, he will still spawn no matter what. And I'm like, okay, we added a lot of stuff. Now I have to ask, is the AI smart? And the answer is no, it's not smart at all in any way, shape, or form. It's really stupid. It just finds you and kills you. It's not even smart about it. Sometimes it breaks its own rules for the AI.
It's also, I had multiple times when I was playing it recently, there were moments where I was encountering the alien where he absolutely should have seen me. Like, I basically, would walk in front of him, and I'm like, oh, I'm dead, and then he would just turn around, like, oh, okay, I'm alive? Question mark?
Yeah, and this is like the core gameplay. It's you build little gadgets to annoy him. But the thing about it is that the gadgets are when the alien shows up. For the rest of the time, you're just trying your best to make the alien not show up. So you're just kind of crouch waddling because standing up and walking slow
makes too much noise.
Makes too much noise. Doing anything makes too much noise. And you can tell at the hyper-specific gameplay points, oh, doing this will make a lot of obvious noise. And it's like, okay. And there's no actual hiding spots from him because you can't hide in a vent because it can go in the vent. Because there are some vents you can actually go in. The locker, it can still find you if you are too close to the locker door. So you have to actually tilt backwards, right? And other than that, if you're under a hiding spot like a desk, he can still kind of see you from far away. I've had that happen to me. So things work but also don't work at the same time.
Yeah.
And if this
very spotty of how and that the whole hiding system really works.
And if this was a 4-hour game, I feel like you could easily fix it, or better yet, it could be forgiven.
Yeah.
But that's when the next issue comes out. Game's 20 hours long.
Yeah, it's really long.
It's really, really long.
And it feels even longer because, again, you are crouched through most of the game to avoid either the alien or any of the other enemies that are in the game, whether it be the survivors or the androids. It makes it feel way slower than it should.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you could make the argument that you could just play it as sort of a run and gun and waste all those resources. Oh, if you get caught by humans, blam, 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 shoot them. If you get caught by the androids, sort of blam, 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 but the bullets don't really work on them all that well. So you could do it like that, but that's not really how the game wants you to play because again, this is a survival horror game. Resources are very tight, so they don't give you a whole lot of stuff to be able to do that.
Yeah. It feels like, and again, this is like the team's first horror game, which first of all, they did a good job.
Yeah.
But it's like they didn't know why certain aspects of horror games work, especially with the AI that, again, they say, this is revolutionary, this is the blah, 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 it's the way of the future, way of the future. But it never felt like it. I told you this before, but I had this happen to me one time where there was an office. In the middle was a desk. And there's a door in the front and a door in the back. Okay? First of all, the alien can just open doors. And I was doing literally nothing. I was crouch walking, and the alien just spawned. So I went into that room, shut the door, hid under the desk. The alien opened the door, ran around the hallway to the other door and opened the door, then ran all the way around and opened the door again. And it just kept going in circles, as if it knew, which we know it does, we knew where it was, but the AI didn't have a trigger to give it the excuse to actually see me to make it count. And I'm just like, and I was sitting there for like 10 minutes going like, why is it doing this? Is this a bug?
Do you remember at what point this was in the game?
This was near that level where you go to the core.
Oh, so this was like late.
No. This was probably like mission 6.
Okay.
You know that area where you go to like, not a core, but you go to that machinery and there's that android walking around and you have to pull down 3 switches with the android walking around.
Oh,
and it's that area with the giant windows.
Yes.
And then once you do that, everything goes on fire.
Okay.
That was the beginning part of that area when you're walking to that point.
Okay. I think I know what you're... So...
You
did not have the flamethrower at this point?
No.
Okay.
I had nothing.
Okay.
I tried using a proximity... In fact, actually, that's how he killed me, is I threw the proximity mine. He went to the proximity mine, then just kind of like turned around and ran and grabbed me under the desk. Even though he went the opposite way.
The way you described that makes me think I'm hearing like the stone turning sound effect.
He literally did. He went to the, I threw it, I threw it in one door, and then I turned around, I opened the thing, and I hear him walk away, and then I hear, like he's, because I was so used to that sound, because that's the sound of him turning around, and I'm like, I look back, I'm like, why is he turning around? And he's just like, locks eyes with me, and I'm like, huh? What? And like, that's what it's like the whole. And I know how there's literally also some parts in which you can just run straight forward, and the alien actually it takes too long for him to spawn, so you can just rush through a whole level.
I've done that.
Yeah, and it's very. It feels like there's such a high level of polish that the core gameplay loop kind of is very clunky, but not like a really good clunky or a deliberate clunky, more like clunky. It's like, what are you gonna do? And you didn't finish it.
I came very, very close. I am on like level 15 out of 19.
I did finish it. I didn't know I was at the end. I was like, oh, I have the flamethrower now. And the last bunch of missions fly by. Probably because, the first half of the game takes forever. And it's kind of like get to a pod, and I go, okay. And then I get to a pod, and then I just get a cutscene and the game ends. And I was like, oh. I stopped caring. I was like, thank God. It's like, I should not have a relief of, oh, I'm done playing. That was the end. It feels.
You didn't have that sense of accomplishment that you normally would beating a game.
No, I didn't. I just went, oh, it ends? Cool, I can uninstall this. Because it's just, even when you get the flamethrower, the gameplay loop's still the same because the AI is so brain dead. Because it's like, oh, use the flamethrower to make it go away.
And also, here's the thing, a lot of the gadgets that you get in the game are very context specific. Like the flamethrower only works for the alien.
Yeah.
The EMP mines only really work against the androids.
Yeah, the gun only works on the humans.
Yeah. Also, I just remembered that I got some beef. I got some beef with the stun baton.
Okay.
So there's a trophy. I was like sort of trying to get all the trophies in this, but I wasn't like super committed to it. There was a trophy in the game to not kill anyone.
Okay.
And I was in the part of the game where the androids kind of like go haywire and they're killing everyone. And there's like this huge, I think it's like a mall technically you're in.
Yeah.
And so there's security guards and the androids out. And one of the security guards saw me as I went into this room, like, oh, let me hide, hopefully he'll go away. I bring up my motion tracker, he's getting closer and closer and closer. I'm like, dang, I'm gonna have to get by this guy somehow. So I take out my stun baton. I'm like, if he comes around, I'll stun him. Because that won't count as a kill. I'll just stun him, it's in the name, stun baton. I'll stun him, he'll be knocked out for a little bit, and then I'll go on my merry way. Hit him with the stunny, he immediately collapses into a heap of limbs, and I'm like, did he just die? He was in security armor, by the way. This guy's wearing armor, and a simple stun baton, what, just gave him a heart attack? It's in the name, it's in stun baton.
No.
Why would you make it kill someone? Why would you make it lethal?
You missed the fine print. It had like little asterisks and it said the murder baton. You didn't read it loose.
So that made me mad. I don't like it.
Yeah, I remember there was this one point where I was stuck in like a supply closet, and then I stood up, and there was an android outside walking around.
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not, magically both him and an alien spawned the moment I stood up and took one step. So literally what was happening is the alien ran into the closet, I'd have to flamethrower it, then it'd run away. Then the android would walk in, I'd have to stun baton him.
Mm-hmm.
Then the alien would come in and move it out of the way, so I'd have to bring out the flame. It was like a Looney Tunes sketch.
Oh my God.
Of how much the game was not working, and I couldn't get out because they were funneling in, blocking everything of like, the android came in, got to give him a few hits. Okay, the alien's back, flamethrower. Okay, the android's coming in. It's like infuriating. Absolutely infuriating, the game. And it's not like this is a fun infuriating. I'm learning, like in Dark Souls. No, this is a who made this with craft glue kind of frustrating.
I want to make this clear. I feel like we're being a little too negative.
But like that's the thing, is that it could be so much better.
Because there is a lot in this game that's good.
Yeah.
Like atmospherically, like they wanted to capture the feel of the original Alien, and by God, did they do that perfectly.
Sound design.
Sound design.
Mwah. Aesthetics on point.
Yeah.
Lighting fantastic. Graphics still looks better than literally everything on the market right now.
This game's 10 years old and still looks incredible.
This game was on the Xbox 360. This game was on the Xbox 360. Okay.
The androids still creep me the hell out.
Oh yeah, androids were
They're
creepy.
creepy. Those glowing eyes and their bald heads.
And when you are not frustrated, it is a genuinely terrifying game.
Yes.
But after
when the game works as intended.
Yes, when the game works,
it's very good.
Really good. I understand the 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is I think it's a little nostalgia blinded.
Mm-hmm.
Or just anything, because again, I've played this game twice. I didn't, right? I was turned off the first time. Second time, I beat the whole thing. I just wanted it to end. You shouldn't want it to be like, okay, hurry up. I'm not having fun.
If it was just maybe 5 hours shorter,
yes,
it would have been fine.
5 hours shorter. Tighten up the AI, and maybe have me stop walking through the same train station 7 times, being like, it's an open world, but open world in the sense is you go to here, you go on the train station, you'll be back here in 12 chapters because we needed padding.
So my question now is, for now that it's 10 years old, the developer just announced that they're doing a sequel.
Yeah.
10 years in the video game industry is a long time.
Yeah.
I'm a little terrified to think of what they can do with the AI now.
Okay, yeah, and I was thinking, because I brought this up one time before, and it's that Amnesia the Bunker was kind of everything I wanted isolation to be on a smaller scale, right? If they make the next one like more of a tighter, Metroidvania-esque, like, because you could tell they tried to do that in isolation.
There's a little bit of Metroidvania.
But it's so big and so tedious to walk through, it doesn't work, right? But if you made it, if you play Bunker, you'll understand what I'm trying to say here. If you made the locations smaller, make it easier to traverse through, made the AI better, honestly, even get rid of the humans and androids mechanic, make it just the alien. I think, yeah, the 9 out of 10s in a situation, that's easy for me to see. 100%, right? But what it could be is we could get a lot of bloat.
Perhaps.
You know, we don't know. We don't. They didn't even give us a trailer.
Yeah, we don't. We just know that it's in development. There's nothing, no release date, no trailer, no details other than it's happening.
It's happening.
It could come out in 2 years. It could come out in like 6 years. Who knows?
Yeah. So I mean, I wanted, and I being a hater, I wanted to like it.
Yeah.
And when I do like it, I do like it.
Yeah.
But I don't like it a lot of times. That's it. You know?
Yeah. So it's not a bad game by any means. It's just that it could have been better.
And again, I feel like there's a lot of overhype, because I remember it's like IGN was dead to me. They didn't give this a 9 out of 10. First of all, they were dead to me when they gave Double Dragon Neon a 3 out of 10. First of all. Second of all, I do kind of agree with this. It is a 6 out of 10, maybe a 7, like a high 6, low 7 out of 10 for me.
I feel 7 because I'm being generous.
Yeah.
I'm a generous man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's like a range. You know, it's a good, like, borderline B and C tier game.
Yeah.
Right? It's borderline. Right? It's got some issues. It's very mixed, and I do love my mixed horror games. But I am never going to say it's a 10 out of 10.
No.
I'm never going to say it's a 9 out of 10. I'm never going to put it in like a top, I don't know, 10 horror games. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think it's jank in the ways where it doesn't feel purposeful. It's just ouchie, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. I agree.
So, yeah.
Come back in like 6 years' time when we review Alien Isolation 2.
Watch me have the same problem and play it on launch, then get bored again.